गुड इवनिंग फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। आज देखते हैं हम सेल्सफोर्स डेवऑप्स के कुछ इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चंस, क्योंकि सेल्सफोर्स जॉब प्रोफाइल में डेवऑप्स का भी एक रोल होता है। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं क्वेश्चंस। What is the DevOps in Salesforce? Salesforce DevOps is the application of the DevOps practice to the Salesforce development and operations. It is focused on automatic and optimize the Salesforce applications life cycles, including the development, testing, deployment, and maintenance to enhance efficiency and collaborations. Next questions. How does continue the integration CI work in the Salesforce DevOps? Continue integration in the Salesforce DevOps in all automatically testing and merging codes change into the share repository. This is the topically done using the tools like the Jenkins or Salesforce DX, which help automate the process and ensure that new changes integrate well with the exiting the code base, reducing integration the issue. Next questions. What role does source control the play in the Salesforce DevOps? Salesforce DevOps source control play a vital role in monitoring and controlling modifications made to the code. This system enables virus developers to concurrently DevOps dist- distance features, ensure that is a documented an history of all changes, and support the ability to revert the change when the needed among the prevalent source control the system used in the domain. Git stand out of the popular choice. Next question, can you explain the concept of the continue the delivery in the Salesforce? Continue delivery in the Salesforce in executations of continue integrations, ensuring that is a code change in the automatically tested the and prepare for the release to the productions environment in invalidate the automated the testing and deployment process in building more repeat repeat reliable delivery of the Salesforce application and the update. Next questions. What are the some common challenges in Salesforce DevOps? Common challenges in the Salesforce DevOps include the managing dependencies and config in the share the environment, ensuring that data security and implicit handling to the complexity of the Salesforce metadata, and balancing in the need for the repeat the deployment with quality insurance. Next questions. How does some how how do Salesforce DevOps practice enhance team collaborations? Salesforce DevOps practice enhance team collaboration by the implementing tools and process that is enables transparent communications, real-time the feedback, and efficient problem solving. This include the share the codes, repository, automated testing and deployment, and collaborative platform for the tracking the process progress and issue. Next question, what is the role of the automated testing in Salesforce DevOps? Automated testing play a critical role in the Salesforce DevOps by the ensuring that is code change to do not break exiting functionality. It invalid encrypting and running test script for the virus accept of the Salesforce application, allowing for the quick dedications of issue and ensuring high quality release. Next questions, what is the deployment pipelines in the Salesforce jobs and why is the important? Development pipeline in Salesforce DevOps is a set of the automated the process for the moving code from the source control to the Production it include the step like the building, testing, and deploying. This pipeline is the critical for the ensuring that is code change are the reliable and efficiently promoted throughout different stage, reducing the manual effort and the errors. Next question: how do you manage the Salesforce environment in the DevOps setup? Managing Salesforce environment in a DevOps setup involved in, involved using the environment specific strategy. This is include the maintaining separate environment for the deployment, development, testing, and production using the version control to manage changes and automating the promotions of the code between the environment to ensure consistency and the reduce risk. Next questions. What are the benefits of the using the Salesforce DX in the DevOps strategy? Salesforce DX bring the server the benefit to the DevOps strategy such as a source drive the development into integration with of the version control, system search and scratch org for its located development and testing and powerful CLI tools for the automating the versions, Salesforce operations, enhancing to the overall agility and collaborations in the development process. Next questions. Can you explain the concept of the infrastructures as a code in Salesforce DevOps? The concept of the infrastructure as a code within the Salesforce DevOps revolve around the automations of the setting up and configure Salesforce environment. This is an approach properties the use of code for this task or the traditional manual the methods streamline and standard the process. This approach allows to the consultants repeatable and automated setup of environment, reducing the likelihood of human errors and improving the efficiency. Next questions. How do you ensure security and compliance in the Salesforce jobs practice? Ensuring security and compliance in Salesforce jobs involve the implementing the robust access control, regularly and reviewing and updating security policies and um, performing automated security testing and ensuring that all code and the configurations changes are the compliant with relevant regulations and best practice. What is the role of the monitoring and the logging in the Salesforce DevOps? Monitoring and the logic are vital in the Salesforce DevOps for the tracking the health and performance of the Salesforce application. They help in the identifying the issue, early understanding system users pattern and providing the insight for the continue the improvement tools like Salesforce event monitoring and third-party monitoring the service are to the users. Next questions describe how rollback are handled in the Salesforce DevOps. Rollback in the Salesforce DevOps are the handled by the reverting the environment to the previous stable stage, topically using the version control the system in in world live identifying the specific the change that is a cases the issue reverting that is change in the source control and then the deploying the corrected versions to the affected environment. Next question: how does Salesforce DevOps integrate with Agile methodology? Salesforce DevOps complement Agile methodology by the facilities faster and more the iterative development cycles. It is enables the continue the integration and the delivery, allowing the teams to the regularly release the small increment of the functionality aligned with of the ag, agli, agi, agli, agli's focus on the iterative development and continue the feedback and the repeat the adaptability. Next questions. What is the what is the what is the role of the futures branching in the Salesforce DevOps? Future branch in the Salesforce DevOps involved the creating the separate branches in the version control the system for each new feature or bugs fix. This is approach allow the multiple developers to the work cu- currency currently of the different features without the interface interfering the width of the main code base in building the smoother integration and the testing of new the functionality. Next questions. How do you approach error handling and expectation management in the Salesforce DevOps? Errors handling and expectation management in the Salesforce DevOps involve implementing the robust logic and the monitoring to the capture and analyze the errors, setting up alert for the critical issue and the establishing clear the processor to the troubleshooting and resolving the problem. This ensure the high availability and reliability of Salesforce applications. Next questions, can you explain the importance of the custom metadata type of the Salesforce DevOps? Custom metadata type of the Salesforce DevOps are the critical for managing and deployment configurations data. They allow to developer to the store configuration setting and other data that is can be the deploy across Salesforce environments. In building the more dynamic and flexible approach, BBR will be managing the consistency across the deployment. Next questions. What is the DevOps? DevOps is a set of the practice that is aimed to automate and improve the process of the Salesforce delivery. DevOps is a combination of the mm, development and operation, and it is a imposing the collaboration between these two group in order the streamline that is software development life the cycles. Next question, can you explain the Salesforce DevOps life cycles? The Salesforce DevOps life cycles consists of the force for the main phase, plan, build, test, and the deploy. In the planning phase, you will be deploy strategy for how you can want how sorry for how you can how you want to implement DevOps within your the organization. This will be invalid the deciding decide which tools and process you will be used, as well as now you will train your the team in the bird phase. You will set up your the development environment and build the necessary infrastructure. In the text phase, you will test your the code and infrastructure to the ensure that is everything's in the working expected the finally. In the deploy phase, you will be deploy your the code to your the production environment. Next question, why should we us version the control system in our the software development process? Version control the system help to the manage change to the software code over the time. It allows to the developers to track the changes, revert to the previous the version if necessary, and work collaborative on code. The deployment using in version control system can help to the improve the quality of code and make the software development process more the efficient. Next questions. What are some common the version control the system? Which one do you prefer and Why? There are many different version control the system and versions, but some of the most popular ones and including Git, Miracles and sub versions. I personally prefer Git because it is very fast and easy to use. However, each of the version and control the system has it is one strength and weakness, so it is a really different one with the specific needs to the which one you the should use. Next questions. What is the difference between the CI and CD? CI and continuous integration in the is the practice of the merging all developers working copies without share the mind line in the server time day. CD is a container delivery deployment. It's a software release strategy where code change the automatically built and tested and deployment to the productions. Next questions. What are some of the most common used tools for each stage of the DevOps cycles? The most commonly used tools for each stage of the DevOps cycle are planning Jira, Trello, second, development and Eclipse, Visual Studio, third, testing Selenium, SOAP UI, next, deployment Puppet and Chief, next, monitoring egos and new release. Next questions. How can you create test data during the deployment phase? There are 5 ways to create test data during the deployment phase. One way is to use of the data generation tools like the data factory to the generate testing data, and another way to use tools like the Salesforce to create test data by the automatically filling in the form fields on the web page. Next question, can you explain how you automated the testing with of the Salesforce DX? Yes, one way to the automated testing with of the Salesforce DX is to the use to Salesforce DX CLI to the run text. The CLI can be used to run Apex text, run Lightning test, and run Selenium test. Next question, can you give me the example for where you have used continuous integration with the Salesforce? I have the use continuous integration with the Salesforce in the 5 different way. One example is when I was working on the project where we had to the consistently push changes to the software org is order to test them. We used to the continue the integration to see the automated the process of the pushing the changes the running test which save us a lot of the time. Another example is when I was working on a project where we had to integrate with the third-party system. We used continue integration tools to automatically run our test every time the third-party system was updated, which ensured that is our integration was always up to the date. Next questions. It is possible to use and Docker the content along with other Jetkins to build and deploy that Salesforce code. If yes, then now. Yes, it is possible to use Docker container along with other Jetkins to the build and deploy Salesforce code. You can use to the Jetkins and run the planning to run and Jetkins files inside of Docker the container. This is will be allow you to the build your the codes inside your the container and then deploy into the Salesforce org running out in another containers. Next questions, what is your the experience using the Jira? I have been using the Jira for about years now, and it is a it, it is a being to great tools on the managing of the deployment process. It is a help us to keep the track of the track the process progress on the version project and communicate with our the team and member about what need to be done. Next questions: what does source control mean in content with the Salesforce codes? Source control in the process of managing this changes to the code over the time in the content of the Salesforce deployment. This is the means keeping the track changes made to Apex classes, Visual Force page, and other the compounds and the being to avoid to the roll back changes in the necessary. It is also the allow the multiple developers to the work same code base without the overwriting each of other the changes. Next question: what is the significance of the pull request when working on the Salesforce project? Pull requests are the key part of the Salesforce development process because they are allow the developers to share their code changing with of the other and get the feedback. Before those changes are the deployment to productions. Pull request also give others developers as a chance to the review your code and make the sure that it is meet the standard for the project. Next questions: what type of the release cycles have to allow when deploying the code productions environment? There are five the different type of the release cycle that can be the allow you to when deploying code and into the production environment. The most common type of the pair for waterfall middle model which invalidate liner the process of the deployment testing and deployment. Another the common type of the angle model the which is more the attractive and allow you to for more request in code deployment. Next questions: what is the sandbox environment? Sandbox environment is a copy to production or environment that is can be used to testing process, and this is allowed to developer test now new code configuration without the affecting the live production environment. Next question: what is the best way to what is the best way to manage dependency in the Salesforce project? There are five the different way to the manage dependency Salesforce project, but is a test but is the best way will be likely depend on you the specific need to one your project. One open options is to the use the Salesforce DX dependency API, which allow you to the main manage dependency between the Salesforce ORG. Another the option into the use to tool like the mate and which can be help you to manage the dependency and between the different Salesforce object. Next questions: which are the some limitations that are you faced with when implementing the DevOps practice at a different the organization? One of the biggest challenges with the implementing the DevOps in getting all of the stakeholders on board. It can be the difficult to the get everyone to the buy into the new process and the workflow, especially if they are used to the use used to the old way to way for doing the things. One of the challenges it's the DevOps required lot of the automations, and it can be the default difficult to set up all of the necessary automation the tools and the script. Finally, I can be difficult find to the find the right balance balance between the DevOps and the traditional IT operation, and it is often necessary to make some completion in order to get everyone on the board with the new the systems. Next questions: what are the benefit of adopting Salesforce DevOps in practice? Salesforce DevOps practice can be help improve the speed and quality of the Salesforce deployment project by the automating the key process and adopting the cultures of collaboration. DevOps can be help you to reduce the time it take deliver new the features and the update to users. DevOps can be also the help improve the quality of the Salesforce development project by providing the more transparency and predicate the deployment process. थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स। अगर मेरा चैनल आपको पसंद आता है तो मेरे चैनल को लाइक सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलिएगा। जल्दी से जल्दी लाइक कीजिए, कमेंट कीजिए, शेयर करना मत भूलिएगा। मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में। थैंक यू, टेक केयर, बाय बाय फ्रेंड्स।